Hi everybody. List boxes are a great way in Excel of putting in data validation into particular cells. For instance, we've got a list box here on the left hand side, and then we're going to use it to enter data into a particular cell. We highlight the list, go into data validation, press OK, and we get a drop down list. Unfortunately, we've got spaces in between the various items in the drop down, which isn't really what we're looking for. We're looking more for something like this, where we don't have spaces in between, but we've got entries in the listing to the left. Now, I'll show you one way of obtaining this result. I'm sure there are other ways, but I found this one to be quite useful and quite quick in applications. First thing to do is to set up a column next to the list items, and what you're going to do in that column is, if something is non-zero or non-blank in the list box, you make it a 1, and otherwise you make it a 0. So we've got a series of 1s and 0s next to the items in the list there. We then sum these, and we'll sum from C3 down through the full list. So when we do that, we'll get a count of the non-zero items in the list. You can see there are 7. I'll put a maximum at the bottom, and that's a cell in which we have the number of items, non-zero items in the list. At the top two, we'll put a note on what is a starting row for the list box. We'll find that useful in the next part of the application. Now the core of how this works is to use match. So what we're doing is we're matching the row that we're on minus the start row of the list box with the summation of the non-zero items, and match always finds the first one, and so that's what makes this useful and workable. So if we do that, we match the row, and you can see that row 1 is coming out and it's matching with the first row. The second one's row 3, and that's not quite what we're looking for, and it's because the list box is 2 rows down. So if we add the start row of the list box to each of the items, we'll get a better result. And you can see here that sales now, which is on row 3, looks up correctly. Purchases looks up in row 5, wages row 7, and right down to 16, which is general. So it's left in the final column. We now just reference that row and the item in column B. So we'll use indirect. We're in column B, so B, and we add to that the value in column E, and we get sales there. Copy it down, and there we have a non-zero listing of or non-null listing of the items in the list box on the left hand side. Now we want to be able to use that list, and we don't want the NAs appearing, so we'll define a list. We'll call it lookup, and we'll use the offset formula in Excel. So offset, we start where the sales is in row F3, put in 3 commas, and then we reference up what the maximum is. D26 contains the maximum number in the drop down list. Well, now, just to show you it works, put in a list with a drop down list in this particular cell, and we'll reference lookup, which is the name we just created. So as you can see, there we are in the drop down. We have non-zero items come into the list, so I'll put another one in just to show you that it sorts in correctly. And there we have it, director goes in into the list. I found it to be quite useful. Hope you